Hi everybody, it's Robert here from ECF, and if you don't believe it's me, it is. Protecting your personal vaping rights since June of this year. I made a video a couple weeks ago, showed everybody this mod I made. It's a 5-volt detonator. Some people wondered like how big they are. Well, my hands aren't very big, and here's a Bic lighter. So that's about how big they are. The 5-volt detonator has an inline regulator from Texas Instruments. It takes anywhere from 9+ volts down to exactly 5 volts. In my opinion, 5 volts is the perfect voltage for vaping. 3.7, which is standard with the 510 atomizer. Standard with the 510 battery is a little bit low, kind of gives you a small hit. And in my opinion, most of the mods out there are 6, and I've had 6-volt mods. They're easy to make, but 6-volt leaves kind of a burnt flavor. And I made a video last week showing people how to make these. You know, 6 volts is pretty good. There's a lot of really nice mods out there. I'm not trying to knock anyone's mod, but I feel 5 volts tastes better. I wouldn't have known this if I hadn't first bought a mod that looks like this one. This is a blue multi-volt that I made. Some of you have seen my signature picture. Multi-volt uses 5 and 6 volts, but these are really difficult to make. I've changed the way that I make these now, and I may make more of them in the future, but they're difficult to make and a little unnecessary in my opinion, because I think 5 volts is better. So now I'm making these 5-volt mods. You know, fits nicely in your hand. It's made out of a flashlight. 510 atomizer screws right on. If you're new to the world of vaping and you have a 510, your hardware, if you decide to make something like this yourself, you want to go back and look at my other video I made. Shows you exactly how to make one of these. And you can use all your 510 stuff. Now I wanted to show off some of the newer ones I've made. This is that same red one. Still hits really great. It's one of my daily ones. I tested it for a while, then I put it away and I used a different one. Now, not knocking 6-volt. I've made some 6-volt Magnum mods, detonator mods, whatever you want to call them. And the first thing I started doing is playing around with LEDs. This is one I made. It looks just like the other ones, except this is 6-volt only. It was going to be a multi-volt, but one of the buttons failed. I was having a hard time with them, so I decided to put an LED in there. And this is it's a really weak LED. Ha! Just put the battery in backwards, no wonder it wouldn't work. I do everything in one take, so I'm not going to edit that. Okay. Now, can you see it? LED on, LED off. LED on, LED off. It's really weak. It's a 6-volt mod. I made it. I'm never going to use it. Somebody wants this one, PM me. On to my other mods. What I wanted to do with the LED was to know when the power was on. So one of the first things I made was this one. And this is a 5-volt detonator in my new shiny aluminum flashlight with a green large super bright LED. This thing will mesmerize your friends, and I thought it looked pretty cool, you know, blinking green LED. Works great. But the LED was a little bit bright, so Well, it wasn't that it was bright. Actually, at first, I thought green was cool, but then I said I want a red one. So I decided to make another one. And this one used a slightly different LED, still the 5-volt inline regulator, but it just shows when it's on. Okay, that's off, and this is on. And it blinks when you hit it. The red blinking light atomizer. This will also mesmerize your friends. The bulb on the top of this one is a little bit large. It was, each one of these things is custom made, and somehow this one just came out really odd looking, in my opinion. It's not ugly per se, but it has kind of a large cone. I love that blinking red light. I still like this one. I might go back to the blinking red light for some of my future ones. Nice and small, same size as the last one. This one I like to put the cherry bomb. Love that inhaler. Little props to Drew for making some really good juice. Thanks. Love to put that cherry bomb in this one. People wonder what the hell you're doing with that bright red flashing light. So we got the green one and the red flashing light. These both pretty cool mods. Some of my old ones I haven't shown anybody yet. Ladies, you might have seen this pink one. I also have a green one. No LEDs on these yet. I'm looking for a pink LED, but these are both 5 volts. It's the same size flashlight, just a slightly different build, and it has a rubberized grip to it. And the cool thing about these is they both glow green in the dark. If you heat them up in the light and then you take them in the dark, they glow just like a little kid's glowing thing. And these are both 510 atomizers also. I think they came out pretty slick, and these flashlights are some of the strongest built. Just the way they screw in and out, and the way the knurling is on the end cap here. The end cap, these are all lockout switches, so that's power on, power off. And the first ones, if the power was on, like one of these, and you weren't sure if the power was on or off, you were going to put it in your pocket, well, then you'd have to hit it. And if it wasn't on and you hit it and no smoke came out, I don't know, I felt kind of silly. So I wanted to know without hitting it if the power was on. That's the main reason for making my ones with LEDs. And here's the green and pink one, if you haven't seen those yet. Now, getting on to the ones I like. Give me my RY4 high voltage. Love this stuff. If you haven't tried inhaler juice, you ought to. Now this one of my black ones, I've sold a couple of these. 5-volt regulators, detonators, 5-volt inline regulator, except the difference in this new one is you can see the little tiny LED there. It's called a 3/4 super bright LED. It's actually smaller than the switch, and it is super bright. That lets you know you're on. That's nice red LED. Great vapor from these 5-volt. It has just as much vapor as a 6-volt, but the taste is better. If you haven't tried 5-volt, you gotta try it. These little 3/4 LEDs, really sweet. They're nice and round. They install really well. And another thing, people ask me what this cone is. It's JB Weld. It's 4-minute JB Weld, not the overnight stuff. The 4-minute JB Weld dries blacker, and I've used it exclusively now on the tops and around my LEDs, and all my internal parts now